Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be installing a Spartan locker into the rear end of my Jeep Cherokee here. If you're new here, welcome to the channel, and don't forget to subscribe. Ow, 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 ow. So a while back, I installed a Spartan locker in the Dana 30 on my Jeep Cherokee here. If you want to check out that video, you can click right up over here. And now it's finally time to install one in the rear end of my XJ here, which is a Chrysler 8.25. The nice thing about the Chrysler 8.25 is you don't have to remove the carrier to install the locker like you do the Dana 30. So you can just do everything underneath the Jeep. It makes it way easier just to slap it in there and call it a day. So let's go ahead and look at what's all in the box. First off, we have our instructions here. It does come with a new center pin. In this little baggie here, we have our new pin retainer, as well as all of our springs and pins for the locker. And also we have our two locker halves here with all necessary hardware. Slap it together like so. So before I go underneath the Jeep, I like to have everything kind of pre-staged and pre-set up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. So the first thing we're gonna do is take our locker half here. You're gonna see a couple of holes in it. That is where the pins are gonna go. So we're going to dig into our bag of hardware and just pour it out on the table here. We're going to have our pins as well as our springs, real small spring. And what we're going to do is we're going to insert that spring into the pin and set it in the hole just like so. And we're going to do that with all 4 pins and springs. And then to make things easier to install, we have some small pins in the kit as well. And what that is used for is you can press down on this spring here, and in the side of the locker there is a small hole, and you can just slide that pin on in and it holds that larger pin in place down low so it doesn't get in your way, and we'll remove these later. It's really handy the way that they have this designed for install. When I installed my Aussie locker in my TJ a long time ago, I found it a lot more difficult because it didn't have these pins. This just kind of helps hold everything together. That way when you install it, you don't have to mess with any tension on any springs. And with that, it's time to climb underneath the Jeep. Alright, so first off, we want to pull our axles. If you want more information on how to do so, you can go ahead and check out, that's the wrong way. You can go ahead and check out this video right over here. So with the axles removed, I'm going to go ahead and remove these spider gears here. Now, these here, they should just rotate right out. See how I'm rolling them here? You can just keep rolling them, and then they will pop right out. According to the instructions on the locker, you do not reuse these shims, so I'm going to go ahead and just toss all of this. Bloop. And then once all that was done, I went ahead and slid this axle back in on the driver's side, and I will show you guys why here in just a second. So when we're putting in all of our pieces, it's really helpful to use some assembly grease. It makes it way easier to assemble everything because it kind of acts like a glue to help stick everything in place. So I'm going to take some of my assembly lube and rub it on here real good. That way when I slide it in, it doesn't go anywhere. First off, we're going to go ahead and slide this piece in over our driver's side axle. Can you do me a favor? Can you come push this axle in? And now slowly slide forward.
All right. Slow.
You're good. Right. Don't worry, I'll cut that out.
Maybe. It might not be too bad.
And then once that's slid over the axle, we're going to go ahead and reinstall our retaining clip. And then we're just going to push it up against the locker. Next, we're going to go ahead and slide in this piece right here. And once again, a healthy amount of grease really helps right here. And then we're going to install our axle cap in the center. Alright, so next thing we're going to go ahead and install our other half. And with that, we can go ahead and install our other inner half. Now I realize I didn't make this clear earlier. You want to make sure that the teeth touch the teeth because that is your locking mechanism. Now on this side, before we put this in, we want to make sure that we put our axle cap in first. That way all this kind of goes in together. And then you also want to make sure you install it in a way that you're going to have access to this slot right here, because that's how you're going to get your C-clip in. And now we can go ahead and slowly slide our axle in. Now with the axle slid in, we can go ahead and get our C-clip kind of started. And what I like to do is push my axle all the way in, get my C-clip started, apply pressure, and pull my axle slowly out until the C-clip locks into place. Now at this point, it's a good idea to find the gap right here so you can push your little axle cap up against the axle. Alright, and at this point, we want to align this hole here with our center pin hole. So I'm just going to rotate around until I'm roughly lined up, as well as the other side, rotate it until I'm roughly lined up. Now to get my center pin in, I'm just going to rotate my gears just a little bit here, just so I can get it lined up. And with everything lined up, in goes my pin. And then following the pin, make sure you install your new pin retainer. And then the last thing that we need to do is just remove all of our pins. So the final step is to make sure we have plenty of room here for our locker to move. It should be between 0.145 inches and 0.170 inches. Take our feeler gauges at 0.145. And we have plenty of room. And then we're going to go up to 0.17. And we are not bigger than that. So I would say we're good to go. Now it's a good idea while the vehicle is on jack stands to put your wheels on. One person rotates the wheel one way, one person rotates the wheel the other way, and you should hear it click and you should see movement. But based off of the gap that I have here, I know that it has plenty of room to ratchet, which is what it needs to do. Now all that's left is to reinstall the diff cover, and don't forget your fluids. That's it for this video. If you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. As always, don't forget to subscribe down there. You can check me out on Instagram at It's Project Venture, as well as the Tickety Talk at It's Project Venture. Also, if you're interested in this locker, I'll go ahead and put a link down in the description below. Thanks for watching.